Welcome to another episode of Stranded on Aeternum. I'm your host, Jay Morney, and today I have with me my Sangeticus.
Hi, how are you?
I'm pretty good. Last week we spoke about pay to win. If that was going to be the beauty, it's like the future of Aeternum. Well, it's been quite some time. It's been like a week or so since we last talked about it, and to confirm, there will be no pay to win at the start. We have nothing that will stop them from putting pay to win later on, so we just kind of have to hope it never comes to us. So yeah, but this week we heard some more news. Sir Medieval had the second part of his video come out with them talking to New World, and I kind of want to discuss some of the features that are going to be coming out. What do you think about them? Like, for one, there was like some RP features they were talking about. How do you feel about like in-game marriages and wedding bands? Personally, I don't care. For me, it's a take it or leave it thing. I probably won't get any use out of it. What about you?
I could get a lot of use out of it. I'd probably sell them. Just seems like the right thing to do.
Yeah, but like from your gaming standpoint, do you think you're actually going to get a lot of use out of it? Just selling it? Because
No,
first
I'm
you'd
not
have to have
gonna
a demographic to sell it to online. You know?
I don't think that this is the game that's gonna actually have marriages. I mean, listen, it's happened before in a higher fantasy setting with World of Warcraft. People would get married in game, so it's not as far fetched as one would, as although like us as gamers we don't do that. There's probably could be other people that would do it. Maybe a husband and wife duo that they just put it in there.
Well, that's the other benefits to getting married, like
Do
bigger
I think,
storage. Like imagine
dowry.
that'd be pretty
Right.
cool. Continue. What were you gonna say?
But I don't think that it's like in terms of useful. No.
Well,
You just get a restoration band. You know what I mean? Like you get like a life magic band.
now the next one I want to mention was really interesting, and one I hope to see comes to New World. Like I'm a huge fan of tavern games. Like imagine just being able to go in game to the tavern and play poker on the table, or like some in game version of Eternum poker and bet your in game currency, like or like darts,
Gambling.
gambling, because we already have dice rolls in the game, right? So it's like, what if they just further along that and made like a dice game to put in a tavern or something to accompany, have like people interacting with other people inside the tavern, giving it more of like a life feeling. I think that'd be pretty sick because Witcher has that as Gwent. Technically, in lore wise, World of Warcraft has that with Hearthstone, because Hearthstone is played in the tavern of the World of Warcraft,
Right.
And it's just that they just didn't implement it. But there was like types of games, like there is dice rolling games in WoW that people do and they gamble on. So, how do you feel about that? How do you feel about tavern games in general, or which one would you like to see if you do?
Personally, I would love tavern games. Sounds fantastic from my own standpoint. Do I see that there could be a problem with it? Yeah, if you have children playing this game, even though there's that stamp on it that says what is it, PG?
Yeah, rated for everyone. Well, it's rated 18 to
Not for
mature.
everyone, but
Actually,
it's like
that's a lie. It's rated M for mature because there's blood, gore.
okay. So if the game is stamped correctly M for mature, then gambling should be okay. Even though some people have problems with that, but yeah, no. If it was something, for example, that was E for everyone, or younger children, younger than 18, can access it, it could be an issue because you could be, it's like the loot crate issue, right? Where some governments deem it gambling, and they could be under a lot of under heavy fire for implementing gambling inside their video game. True. Regardless if it's so.
But if there's no real life currency being used here, it's technically not gambling in the sense of like you're not losing any real money. You're only gambling fictional money that you cannot purchase with real money.
Right.
So it's so.
So that's the thing. Like, if it's in-game money, I guess
Yeah.
it makes it a bit more justified. I mean, it's maybe the action itself, I think, could be an issue.
Yeah, for sure. I can see how kids can get
Uh,
addicted, but that's like literally saying a lot of kids, like in the world of gaming, there is a lot of addictive aspects with a lot of games.
Yeah.
You know? You would say
So-
that some companies even bank on it.
Right. Yeah, loot creating.
Exactly.
We won't mention any names.
Yeah.
Starts with an E.
Ends with an A. Yeah.
Challenge everything. Even challenge our youth. Anyway, so yeah, no, I do see it like sure with the in-game currency. But they have been talking about pay to win. If they put the pay to win in there,
it's kind of
gonna
over.
be credit card money going in there.
Yeah, well, if they're spending their money on gambling and not boosts, I'm okay with that.
They lost $20 worth of boosts on a hot hand in a dice game.
No, I have a hot hand. I have a hot
No,
hand.
they did. The other guy had a hot hand. They failed.
No, I
So-
totally get it. Totally get it.
That's where it's like, a bit, like you gotta be careful. You know what I mean?
Yo, but like imagine gambling resources. Like, yo, how much Azoth you got on you? Like, you know?
Too much.
You know,
Need
but that's
to
like, but let's see,
throw it
like
away.
that's gonna be a thing. Like, you know, it's like I'll gamble you like my legendary sword. Like, you know what I'm saying? People will do those bets. There are those degenerates out there. But yeah, so you're fat. So tavern. Would you like to see a preferred tavern game?
Well, the poker one, that sounded amazing. But,
Well, I just shot that out there as an example because they just stated card games that could potentially come in, but like they didn't say like our card games or fictional ones. So it's just card games in general.
I would get real life like Spanish games from the 16th century. You know, so I don't know any of them right now, but a lot of our cards are. Yeah, so I could probably, if they should do one, based on the Conquistador, I'm gonna check it out right now. Primero, that would be a great game. Primero, it's called Primus in English.
Okay.
All right, 16th century card game. Yeah, that's really all I'm gonna get into details with. But something along those lines, you know.
Yeah, I got you.
So, exactly. So old-fashioned games. Who knows? Maybe they'll bring it to real life. Maybe kids in schools will play Primero in the lunch, on their lunch breaks.
Oh, imagine like catches on, dude. That'd be pretty sick. But for that, would have to have a huge following, though.
Exactly, but New World, if they do it right, they're gonna have a huge following.
Well, so far they listen to us, and only pay to win shit is only coming in later in the game, or not at all.
I don't like later though, because it's relative. It's relative to whoever's saying it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it's
I
because the
don't
reason
like
why.
later.
Yeah, but like later is better than right from the get go. Because even WoW does this nowadays. It's shitty to say this, and I hate that WoW does it too. Is that when the X-Pack is like when a game expansion is ending, it's like 0.3 or 0.5 or whatever the fuck it's called, and they're already heading into the next expansion. They give everyone a free boost. They're like, oh, the boost is now since just before the expansion, and now it takes like right after, so you can max level right away, blah, blah, blah. Enjoy the fun. What they don't tell you is that even if you take those boosts, you still have over 12 hours of grinding a day. Just with their super side shit thing that you have to keep up with. You see, that's where I think New World kind of won't suffer for that, because everything you're grinding towards is for upgrades or a chance at an upgrade. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like you're going out there, you're either finding resources to do high level dungeons, you're going out there to either find high tier crafting materials to come back to create better equipment. There's a perfect loop there. It's like a very harmonious loop of play. Where WoW, you don't really get that. WoW, it's like you're going for that piece, can't get that piece today, this week, you go to another place, you're just farming, you're just going for like the fastest route to the epics, where This way, you kind of got to farm more, and you have the chance of doing like that classic WoW grind of drops. Oh, it's pretty good.
Yeah, the weekly shuffle.
Mm.
It's a lot.
Yeah, but like you see here, there's kind of like a soft cap. Like one player can only do like can only create like the dungeon item like X amount of times a week. We don't know how many times yet. Okay, but it stops you from doing spamming dungeons because you don't want people to spam dungeons in general, back to back to back, not enjoying the full aspect of the open worldness. So what I find really cool is that the higher you craft that key, the harder the dungeon is, and you have to craft that key with rare materials from mobs in the world, like bosses in the world. Like we'll have to go kill Bainesy, like that Diablo looking guy, in like that ancient area, and once you kill him, he might drop like the crafting material to build one of those keys, like
Right.
And apart from that, we also have arenas, and what the cool thing is that cosmetically, they just announced with June's patch 50 more sets. Cosmetic
sets. Yeah, I saw
sets.
the 4 on the 4 hours ago, 5 hours ago.
Yeah, exactly, right? So like this is fresh news, And the fact that they added that many and like across like look, I'll read out to you all the different types of like these are the sets that you can get across 50 sets across this much content. Invasions, wars, corrupted breaches, outpost rush, Lazarus Well, Garden of Genesis, the depths, the Shattered Obelisk, arenas, many endgate elites from point of interest, and then like there's a bunch of possible perks and drops from killing those rare mobs as well in just naturally in the world. So imagine how many different gear sets that we're already gonna have. Like people were worried about the cosmetic store. I think the cosmetic store is gonna be somewhere where they're gonna be able to release content that's not tied to lore, if you know what I meant, right? So like So like let's say we want to see Viking mythology cosmetics, right? Because there's no Viking lore really, like we're not gonna really see those items. It wouldn't make sense to have those looks, right? So they might sell it as like a set that you can wear anytime, like
samurai style stuff, Mongolian style stuff.
Well, the samurai style stuff we might actually see in game because we have that whole Asian looking territory, like very samurai-ish. Did you see the armor where that girl Isabella is, and the Siren Queen? Like those are some sick stuff. They also confirmed that there might be raids because they told us that like some like Isabella, even though you see her in a dungeon, you're gonna see her elsewhere in the world play a bigger role, which I find that's really sick. We got that from the Sir Medieval thing, so like now we know there might potentially be raids, so potential for raids, which I find was really sick. I feel like that was the only thing they're kind of missing for that PvE content is like that raid aspect, which if they find that, because the open world raiding was fucking sick. I like that because it can be uncapped, So you can make the open world raiding really hard because it's uncapped on the amount of players that can do it. But then they should have like a more curated dungeon-esque raid for like guilds, to progress to. So like I'm really cool to see that.
Yeah.
Do you have any thoughts?
Well, listen, I love the rating part. I love the new things that they're adding. Most of the new things that they're adding.
Mm.
There are some crucial things from what Sir Medieval was discussing that I felt like I find that they're really like from what it was last year beta to what it's becoming. It might be it's turning into a different animal.
Right. Do you feel like
there
it's
are a few
good?
things like the mount part about it?
Yeah, that I wanted to touch
later.
right after this.
Yeah, so the mount. So okay, so we'll touch that together. Previous to that was what was I concerned about?
Some of the things that were changing apart from the beta, it's becoming a new animal.
No. I mean the pay to win, like we already discussed that, but
yeah.
But remember, I don't think we had actually. It was only you and I who had spoken about this, and this was before this episode.
Okay.
That they're taking too much of their business model and they're turning it into a mimic rather than a completely different, its own standalone thing.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're
Yeah.
really biting. Like, these things work. You know,
Mm-hmm.
for example, the pay to win. It works in other places. It's been done and it's made people profit, right?
Yeah.
As much as it's shitty for the players, right? So
Yeah.
they're trying to take those things and they're really, it's turning into a business model more than it is a great game.
Yeah.
You know?
To be honest, like they did speak out about that too, right? So they said that like they still need to show profits outside of being being funded by Amazon. But they're also they're experimenting with what would be the best model for their game. So like right now they were planning to go the cosmetic route, and people were okay with that when we decided that it's going to be a $40 game. Fine, we're okay with that because we know we have to keep your game alive over time, right? Straight up, if they pull a Black Desert, or they start charging for inventory space, or they start charging for bullshit, then it's a done game. It's going to be dead within the year, for sure.
It feels like that's the direction that they want to take because they keep on talking about their bottom line, and I think what a lot of us as gamers, like what we want from the game, is we just want a great game.
Yeah.
If you make a great game, you don't need to worry about your bottom line because people are going to be flocking in droves to buy your game.
Yeah, exactly.
And not only that, like people are going to be so down, they're going to be dropping all that pay to win shit, and they're going to be coming straight to your game.
True.
We had also spoken about a different business model from a different person. What is it? J.D. Rockefeller.
Okay.
Certain point, he was buying oil companies. He was being strong. Amazon, right? Amazon buying companies, becoming super strong. Now he's got a game company. All right? The game company shouldn't be trying to make more profits than the already established, we'll say Blizzard.
Yeah.
Just for now.
Yeah.
We're
like
basically
MMOs.
directing it to Blizzard, even though we are purchasers. We love Blizzard, but we're directing this to Blizzard. So their competition, their direct competition, technically should be Blizzard. J.D. Rockefeller, in order to beat his competition, undersold and lost some money in order to make sure that his competition couldn't thrive. There's no point in mimicking the pay-to-win features and a lot of this other baloney, like Desert Online, to try to compete with them just to have the whole energy of what you're supposed to be, which is a WoW killer, an entirely new a way of gaming, back to the old ways.
Oh yeah.
You're supposed to bring us back to nostalgia because of your strength of Amazon. So you going to the new business models, it's just not going to work. It's just not going to work. And it just feels that every time they're talking, the way, like even the way Sir Medieval's talking about it too. Like, I understand he understands that we all understand that they need to make a profit. But
do it the right way.
Hype, that's one. The whole hype, everything that drew us to New World, to even make us pick it up, was, hey, this is an Amazon company. They got power out the wazoo to make this work and make it right. You know? Yeah. And then the more we progress further to the deadline, the more I'm hearing, well, you know, we need to show a profit, we need to make money. It's like, but that's going to come later. If you do it right, it's just going to come.
Yeah, true.
Like, it's going to come. You're going to be too popular. Bro, after I played the beta, I was willing to play the game as is. If it just released like that, even though I guess I have lower standards, maybe.
No, it was just fun to farm.
It was fun to farm. It was fun to do everything in there. No pay to win. No, I'm not worried about my bank. Just because I wanted to, I was willing to order a shirt. And because of where I live, I couldn't get the shirt. But that's how, as a fan, I was willing to contribute. So, yeah, I didn't have to play to win, but I chose on my own merit. I said, you know what? Let me buy a shirt. Let me buy memorabilia. Let me buy something to support them.
See, like, that's not even...
them.
You see, that's not even an avenue they even spoke about, like, merchandising. Like, they can do so much merchandising, dude. Like, posters, like, shit like that, dude.
Everything. You wrote comics.
Hat, bro. Sweater, T-shirts.
You know? It's based in real world, right? Aeternum is in the middle of the Atlantic. Like, dude, the lore is immeasurable.
Yeah, and dude, and the fact that, like, okay, so, like, I love that you mentioned this, like, because I completely agree with you. Like, there's so much other revenue ways to do this, and I hope they listen, and I hope like this grabs traction, and I hope they do it, like 100%. Like I'm full on with that. But like that's only something we can hope and wait to see, and if hope they listen. But to be honest, they like the reason why I'm so sure that this is not gonna happen is because they've been listening to the community, and the community has spoken. Like I went on every Twitter, and every time they posted a new world fucking thing for weeks, I'm like, yeah, no one's gonna buy your pay to win shit. Don't pay to win. Don't pay to win. Bro, every post, everything, and then people are tweeting, "What's pay to win?" I telling them straight up, "Oh, Amazon selling boost day one, not chill." And they're like, "Oh, okay." Like,
The problem is that, but like, listen to the language too. Listen to the language too. We need to make a profit. They need to make a profit. The problem is that the people that, yeah, there's developers, there's everything like that, but some of these people that are trying to like run the top, all they care about is a bottom line.
Very
things
true.
like this need to flower, and things like this need to have a bit of a dip before they just flourish.
True.
Like, especially with the competition that you have.
Very true.
Why am I going to switch? Why am I going to switch from WoW? I already got like what 4? I don't personally, but how many people already have like 4 level 20s? They already have their gold grind. They already know what they're doing. Burning Crusade just came out again, keeping it old school. Why are they going to switch? Why would they even switch if they're just going to present to them the same pay to win?
Yeah, not even that. They have like even in Blizzard, they didn't even have that as much renews compared to WoW Classic because of all the pay to win stuff. Just to show you.
Exactly.
Okay, well that's enough of the pay to win stuff. I'm pretty sure we've said what we had to say on those subjects.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about the mounts. There's
All
2
right.
things I need to touch on about the mounts before we end.
Mm-hmm.
One, mounts are only going to come in with expansions. They said that they're going to do it right, like that we want them to do it right, and it's only going to come in the future. And to show you that it's only coming in the future, we have the Azoth travel points. So, personally, I think it's a great idea. Mounts are always. I love mounts. I love collecting mounts. So if there's a way to collect the mounts in the game, and we can keep going with that, then I'm 100% down. Because I don't give a shit, bro. Everyone's gonna want a mount eventually. Because like when the map is too big, the map is too big. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like right now, the only reason why I'm okay with not having a mount is because of the new Azoth travel points they've put in. That you could just travel into the middle of the area and straight up, which is pretty chill. Not gonna lie.
All right.
But then it becomes a teleporting game, right? And everyone just goes teleport here, teleport there, blah blah blah, right?
Yep.
So, how do you feel about it?
I don't want mounts ever.
No, why?
Reason. New World was, when we played together, very, very grindy, right?
Very long walks too.
Very long walks. Had to get done. Take 20 minutes to meet up, right? You're in Everfall. I'm in Monarch's Bluff. We're trying to meet up. We're trying to go north. We take those long walks. Shitty. I understand. But this is how you get groups and guilds segregated to a certain area so that when it comes down to wartime and actually capturing the area, you're going to see zones being created. Zones where people are going to be coming together in certain zones, making it established. Like, I made it established to myself, I'm living in Monarch's Bluff. This is my home. Monarch's Bluff is my home. So I feel that should be more of a thing where people have to make a decision. They have to make a true decision. Be like, okay, listen, I want to live in Everfall. It's nice, but the problem,
why would you feel a mount will affect why you're choosing your homeware?
Because now, if you shave
don't forget
that time of travel, then at a certain point, it's whether it's worth it or not worth it. So living in Monarch's Bluff for myself was worth it because I knew that I always had to go to the north.
Yeah, but okay, let's say instead of taking 20 minutes to get somewhere, it only takes 10.
Yeah, but the problem is that
logically amount only
takes 10.
Yeah, but logically amount only increases your movement by double, by 100%.
The farmers and the people who want to make it in a way that they're just like, you could put your points into anything, right? So you could actually level up strictly in woodcutting,
Yeah,
right?
true. True.
Now, if you're a level 60 and you have a mount, and I'm a level 5 and I don't have a mount, then all it takes is for you instead of buying my wood to undercut me by just taking a horse ride to where I'm at, cut all the wood first, and come back.
So you're
That's
saying
it.
that if people didn't have mounts, they wouldn't do that?
I'm saying it's going to take a lot longer, and people are going to have to wait. Okay, is this really worth it? Is this really worth it for me? Maybe I should just buy the wood. Maybe I should just keep the economy going. Maybe this guy will be my wood guy. You know, I think with the mounts, it's gonna make it a bit more closer to the higher level. We'll get it.
Okay, but like, what if you? Okay, so I was gonna say that, like, what if mounts unlock at like max level only? You have to go through the whole game walking.
That's still when people hit max level,
Okay.
they get the mount. Then the people who get the mount from max level, they can just ride on down, handle it, and then it's just gonna be a race to max level.
Okay, so what
So
if
that's where my conflict ends up.
it's just because everyone could do everything faster? Is that's the
Yeah,
conflict?
but it shouldn't be. It should be more. You should be more incentivized to pay another player to outsource your work, because those people who are maybe not the best in combat might find other ways of
Okay.
becoming king.
So I want to ask you a question now. Don't you think that's gonna happen regardless? Because crafting, like farming, goes up to 600. Okay, level 600 or 500 now because I think they reduced it. So that means no matter what, even if I'm a level 60 and I'm not a woodsman, I wouldn't be able to farm the trees that you're able to farm regardless if I had a mount or not, right? So that means
Right.
if you with no mount are 500 crafting and I'm just like 500 blacksmithing, which is not a thing. I'll just pick another one like mining.
Yeah.
I'll pick
Yeah.
up mining. I'm at 500 mining. You're 500 wood. Regardless if I have a mount or not, I will not be able to farm the wood you're able to farm, and regardless of without a mount, you're not able to farm the mines I'm gonna farm. So I feel like the incentive of players wanting to buy things off players because everything needs everything. And when I say that, I really mean it. Like, if I want to build heavy armor, I still need cloth, I still need a bit of leather, but majority of the thing I need is plate. But if you go the other way, like let's say you're building cloth, you'll have a lot of lead, sorry, not lead, a lot of cloth, like linen, and then you'll have like a little bit, like 1 or 2 sheets of leather, and then you'll have like 1 ingot to make like the belt buckle, like, you know what I'm saying, like shit like that. So that's the incentive of why people are still gonna want to and have to buy off other players, regardless of amount or not.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if you thought of it that way.
Like I didn't think of it that way, but I also still stand by what I'm saying, because you still, like, let's say I don't know what this is. So somebody from the deep south, there's a lot more of a certain mineral,
Okay, yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
you know? Like, now it's a lot further of a reach for you.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Than just saying, you know what, should I take the extra 10? Or now it's like, oh fuck, sorry for swearing, I'm gonna take an extra 20 minutes now, and I'm trying to meet up with my buddies to go up north, and I need this product now.
Yeah.
You know, like, so that's where I feel that, like, you know, certain people could thrive in certain areas, you know, and that's also where, you know, I didn't want the mounts to happen, because, you know, you're gonna have people designated in certain areas that are gonna be living in certain areas, and will be running their local economy.
Well, there's already
Like,
something that you think you're already gonna hate, right? So
which is
if
the Azov
two,
points, I hate that. But
well, the
I'll
Azov
accept
point,
it.
it's like, bro, okay, I understand that, but like, come on, when you have to go from like, regardless, here's the thing.
It's necessary.
It is necessary, bro, because like, if there was too much walking in the game, I wouldn't play the game. Like Skyrim,
Right.
I'm sorry, Skyrim, I walked to a destination once,
Oh.
and then I fast travel there every time.
Oh no, I've walked many places.
Dude,
Sometimes I
I've
just
walked.
walk.
I've visited every location by foot once, and then if I ever had to go back, it was fast travel. So like,
Oh.
if I have to go to a quest across the map, I walk it. But as soon as I get to that quest, and like I'm not walking back, I fast travel back. There's no chance. I'm not spending 25 minutes of my life to potentially not make it somewhere with the loot I need.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not wasting my time.
I've done the opposite of what you're talking about. I've installed mods where I could not fast travel, so I had to walk everywhere.
Yeah, but see, that to me that doesn't it makes sense to a certain point that you don't have to walk. Like if the Skyrim map was small, I wouldn't want to mount or anything. I wouldn't use fast travel. But the Skyrim map is huge. Mm-hmm. Like walking from fucking what is it, fucking Windsward, not Windsward, fucking the first place you start all the way to Solitude to the Thieves Guild is an IRL 2-hour walk.
All right, so you're talking about, because the first place you start is called Helgen, but you're talking about Whiterun.
Yeah, Whiterun.
Which is
there
in
you
the
go.
center of the map.
Yeah.
And from Whiterun to Riften.
Yeah, to Riften is like a 2-hour walk, bro.
Yeah.
That's disgusting. That's disgusting.
And I'm risking and it brought it for myself. It brought so much more roleplay to the table because it's like I'm risking my life. I could be attacked by a bear.
Okay.
I could be attacked
but here's like, you still have all that shit in New World that you can get attacked by, but like half the time we're running away from that shit anyways. Like, you know, through it anyways. We're not really engaging with it. So like that's the same thing like with a mount. I feel like a mount, like right now I feel like a mount's not necessary, personally speaking.
Okay.
But I feel like once we get like 2 or 3 other sections of the map more, a mount will have to be necessary, because the fact that there's no settlements or places that you can actually like go to an innkeeper or settle in up in the place, like the barren lands, the high level areas currently, but they plan to keep it that way because they want it to be that you have to venture there. I feel like when we're gonna have to get past those points to even further in, a mount will be necessary just to make the survivable journey there, because it's like once you set your camp, like the only thing that stops you from spawning are those like shilly quest giver camps, those outposts that you can't really do anything except trade there or interact with an NPC or teleport there too. Those are the only 2-3 things you can do. Other than that, it's just place your camp and you have to go back. And like how many times did like we venture off deep down? So imagine if you have to go further and further and further. A mount will be necessary. And like I said, I also want mounts just to collect them. You know.
Right. Another item to collect.
I like personally, that's what I like. I like to collect mounts. Like World of Warcraft, that was sick. To collect mounts was a sick thing, bro. Like it was sick. And the thing is, World of Warcraft, to make sense. Like if you ask me if I want flying mounts, fuck no. Never put flying mounts in the game. Never fucking do it. Never fucking put flying. Amazon, never put flying mounts in the game. Never do it. We have teleporting. We don't need flying. Period. That's where I put my stance on. Like mounts, for sure, I'm down for them. Especially like a sick armored horse, right? Imagine like a battle. Imagine battle mounts, bro.
They existed then, so I don't see why not. And you know that's a great counter. Makes sense.
No,
like what you're saying, I understand. Like my point of view is one way, your point of view is the other way.
Well,
it makes sense what you're saying too.
For me, it's more like
everybody to write a comment what you guys think.
Yeah, true.
And let us know that.
Yeah,
and
comment off
below. Say what you feel. Yeah, say what you feel. Say anything.
True.
So about those mounts. So, I mean, the collectible sounds awesome too.
Yeah, like come on, like dude, imagine having a griffin as a mount.
No. It breaches too much.
I wouldn't be to me.
I mean, it's already like a mystical land, but I feel like it does too much.
Okay, well, like, what about a bear? Imagine you could ride a bear. That'd be fucking. Imagine like that sick wood deer.
Talbot. Sure.
Bro, maybe. Come on. Like, imagine you're just able to ride animal. Okay, maybe no mounts, but you can tame animals and ride them, and if they die, they die.
One thing I would be interested in, as a cosmetic item that you purchase, is a dog companion.
Oh, you have that in your house.
There you go.
You can get that in your house. You can get a mastiff.
To follow you.
Yep.
Not to attack.
I'm not sure if it follows you, but you get a mastiff in your house. And that's gonna be like one of the purchasable things. Is like pets for your house. That's gonna be
Right.
like one of the cosmetic things.
Right. I also had fun decorating my house.
I had a lot of fun
And
too,
I
dude. Like furniture is like like okay. So just before I end the show, we only have about we're over time by 5 minutes, so I'm just gonna end it soon. The furniture making people make the keys for the dungeons, so they're gonna be making a lot of money, like a lot of money. So that's pretty sick. So like the people are gonna want to have high furnishing because you're gonna be able to craft a lot more than just furniture, the trophy buffs, and your things. So basically, all your like quality of life shit comes from furnishing.
Right.
It's just fucking sick. Like what game has
Sounds
furnishing?
awesome.
Like sick.
New World.
New World. Yep. All right. So that's been another episode of Stranded on Aeternum. I'm your host Jay Morty. You can catch me at YouTube/JMortyTV.com or on Twitch. We'll be streaming soon. The closer we get to New World, I will set up my schedule to get that to you guys. Other than that, please sound off on the comments below. My Patreon will be coming soon. All right. Peace out.
Ciao.